lot of us have hard time dealing with failure. We see it as a very, very negative thing. We take it personally, and so we have those standards of perfection that we created because we see it, we take it too personally. And this is a big thing in our society. We're going to talk about it, we're going to expand, we're going to understand exactly why it's such a problem and why, where it's created and where it started. So let's dive right in. Today we're going to talk about the 5 simple steps to turn failure from enemy to your best friend. And so let's do it. Step number one is don't take it personally. Now, what we want to do here in this step is understanding that there is failure, there is like behavior, but there is also the personality. So we want to separate these two. We want to separate the event, the behavior of a person, and the person itself. So we understand that there is a behavior, there is an event, and there is a person, and the person is whole and good enough no matter what. And I'll give you a couple of examples. A child who fell in an exam. So if a child fell in an exam, it doesn't mean that he is a failure, right? Because if we see him, we see that failure as a negative thing, it means that he's a failure for everything that he is doing. But no, it's not true. He just fell in one exam or two exams, whatever it is. But it doesn't define the person as he is because he's still good enough. But yeah, he failed in a couple of exams. Sure, he wasn't prepared, whatever it is. But it doesn't mean that he is a failure, right? Misbehaved child, like I was a misbehaved child. And again, we got to understand and see the separation between a child that is a troublemaker and doing, he's misbehaving, between seeing the child as negative and bad. We want to make this separation because this separation can make a lot of problems, and we're going to talk about it in just a second. Not getting accepted in a school happened to me in job that I wanted to apply to. And yeah, we see those things and we think that we're a failure. We generalize that we're a failure because we didn't accept it got accepted into the job, the school, whatever it is. But no, we want to make the separation. And a lot of the time, a lot of us and other people, they don't even try to do those things. So we need to acknowledge that we even try and did those things. So that's a very good point, that we at least try rather than a lot of people don't even try. Getting rejected by the other gender. And that's a big one that a lot of people take it so personally, and we see it, okay, he rejected me, she rejected me, I'm a failure. But no, I mean, you're a human being. You're a fool. You're whole. You're lovable. You're good enough. It doesn't matter if someone rejected you, but also, even if you went to someone, you say hello, you smile, you did whatever. That's also already a win because you did a lot of actions that led you to this rejection. So because the end result was a no, it doesn't mean that a lot of other actions that you did were not positive, right? If you went to a person, you're brave enough to say hi, to reach out and do what you need to do in order to talk with this person. So it doesn't when you get rejected, it doesn't mean that you as a person is a failure. It means that you gotta know that's the end results, but you did a lot of things that were positive and good. So where we get in trouble when we don't do the separation? When we don't do the separation, it reduces our self-esteem massively. And the reason being is if we judge ourselves, if we think that we're not good enough because we failed, so we take it personally, we judge ourselves for that, and automatically that reduces our self-esteem massively because we think that we're the failure, and we don't see that separation between the action that we did and us being good enough and whole, no matter what's the situation. And we're going to understand exactly where we got all those beliefs that we're not good enough because we fell. We have hundreds and hundreds of references in our subconscious mind as to why when we fail, we're bad and we're bad people and failure. If we don't see the separation between failure and the personality, the behavior and the person. So then we miss the opportunity to learn from that, because all we see is we're focusing on ourselves. We're focusing as like, oh, how terrible was it? He rejected me. I failed in such and such. We're more in the blaming side of the game rather than being in the victor side of the game, where you're like, okay, I can learn from this opportunity. I can learn that was a good thing. So we're becoming the victor, the victims in this case, in this scenario, because we blame and we start being negative. So we miss this great opportunity to learn and actually become better next time. Also, if you have fear of failure, you probably worry a lot about things, because you're gonna try to avoid certain things. You're gonna have standards of perfection. Those standards for perfection, because none of us are perfect. Let's be real. And if you have standards of perfection, you will worry, because no one can be perfect. And if you try to be perfect, then it will never work for you. So you gotta understand that you'll never be perfect, and you gotta find this zone, that an understanding that you're good enough no matter what. And the behavior, it's a behavior, but if you take it personally, it's gonna make you worry and suffer. So this is step number one. Take it personally. Don't take it personally. Make the separation between the human being, between the person, and the behavior and the action that you're taking. You gotta make those separations. Step number two is welcome failure. So let's talk about what is a failure in our head. When you think about failure, what comes in your mind? A failure is a negative event in the future. Is we see it as something that is negative, right? Getting rejected, not getting accepted into the school, or failing in something. We see it as a very, very negative thing. Now, our essence is to try to avoid painful experiences, try to avoid pain, and we will go towards pleasure. We go toward the things that make us feel good, give us pleasure. Now, if you see failure as a negative thing, then you're gonna try to avoid it, right? Because you try to avoid pain. But what if you're gonna see failure as a good thing? What if you're gonna see it as a good thing? There's no more failure, right? Because it takes the tension out of it. It takes the charge out of failure, because now all you see is a good thing. All you see is the good thing. So failure is no longer a negative thing. You're not trying to avoid it. So we want to make this switch in our head, rather than trying to avoid failure, embracing it, go towards that. That's where the opportunities lie, right? Like if you want to get better at anything, that means you're not where you are, where you want to be. Then you gotta make new actions. You gotta get out of your comfort zone in order to be the person or get what you want. It's always like this. You gotta get out of your comfort zone to get what you want in your life, right? And in order to do that, there's a price to it. Okay, you're gonna be in uncomfortable situations. You're gonna face failure, because it's something that is new for you. So we gotta embrace it and see it as a good thing, because then it change how you see it and change the perspective of it. And so step number two is embrace failure, which then it leads us to even dig deeper into understanding failure and see it as a good thing. Step number three is reframe from failure. What is reframe? Um, Reframe is given a different meaning. Like our mind is a meaning making machine. So it's a machine that literally creates a machine meaning all the time. And you have this picture here with the glasses, with the sunglasses, because this is the lenses that we see the world. This is how we see the world, with the lenses of the sunglasses. And we constantly change lenses. We constantly see things in different way, in different light. Now we are aware of it, so you can create different meaning, right? You can consciously refrain from failure, see it as a good thing, and refrain from it. And what it does, it puts you on the victor side, because you understand that you're in charge of your life. You understand that you're the one that create the meaning. So what I suggest you to do is in everything in your life, Ask yourself, what do I make this means? Everything that you're doing, whether it's interacting with people, whether it's a small thing, because we always making meanings out of things. And if you're going to ask this question, you're going to understand that you're creating stories after stories for everything in your life. And that puts you on the side of being a victor, because a victor is someone who take charge of their life, they understand the power that they have to create the reality that they want. And you get to do it by reframing failure, reframing the meaning that you give things in your life. So we all see things very differently. Again, we see failure very different. What can be a bad thing for one person can be a very good thing for other people. So that just means that what is, it's actually neutral, right? So every event in our life, everything that we see, everything around us, it's neither negative or either positive. It's all the meaning that we give it. And so why not making a new meaning, right? So our life is like an empty canvas, clean canvas. So we can actually create the picture. We can paint the picture as we want it. And again, this is a place of power. Now, so we can look at any event in our life at three ways. Is one of them is neutral, one of them is negative, which is failure, and the third one is positive. So make it a good thing. And how we make it a good thing? So there are two ways to see it as a good thing. One, you can see it as a learning opportunity. What does it mean? So if you failed the exam, if you blame yourself and you're like, okay, I'm such a failure, that was so bad, so negative, then you miss the opportunity to see the opportunity to learn from this experience. Okay, so if you're getting the opportunity to learn it, you're going to be like, okay, fine, I failed, that's totally okay, but let's see what I can learn from it. Okay, I tried talking to this girl, let's see what I can learn from it, so next time I'm going to be better. If it was a job interview, okay, what I can learn from it? So that's a great question to ask yourself constantly. What can I learn from it? Where is the learning opportunity? Again, the questions that we ask ourselves, that's Tony Robbins said, the questions that we ask ourselves determine the quality of our life, the quality of our results. And this is a perfect example of it. Rather than asking yourself, I'm such a failure, or why I'm bad when I fell, you can ask yourself, where is the learning opportunity here? So you can grow, so you can become better. Okay, you understand? If you take things personally, you stopping yourself from growing and being better next time, rather than approaching it with curiosity, so you can actually learn from it. Now, another great way to look at failure is seeing it as an opportunity for success and for happiness, for a happiness. Let me give you an example. I remember two of my relationships, great people that I dated. They're awesome, amazing people. But at the time when we first ended the relationship, it looked like the end of the world. It looked like the most terrible thing ever. And now that I'm looking at in retro perspective, right now I'm like, I'm so grateful that it happens, because first of all, it made me the person that I am, and second of all, it wasn't a good fit. And sometimes we need this distance, we need this couple of years to realize, okay, that wasn't a good relationship and it wasn't a good thing. So it's actually a good thing that it happened. I'm super grateful that I'm no longer with them, or that I don't have kids, that didn't last, because it wasn't supposed to last. It was terrible. I was angry, she was angry, and it was just not a good, fun, happy, and relationship. So that's a very good thing. Let's look at another way to see it as a good thing. We talked about being giving meaning to things in our life, right? What if we give failure a good thing? We create the rules. We're the judge in our life. So you create the rules that everything I do, I win. Everything that I do. So if you fail, even, you won because you showed up. If you got rejected, you won because you approach the person, right? So all those things, those are the small wins. Those are the small minutes that we can literally change in our life, and it can make a big difference in how we see life and how we see ourselves, and also increase the level of happiness and satisfaction that we have from life, because we understand that we get empowered because we choose the meaning, we create the meaning in our life, and this is the way to do it, by asking a better questions, so you can get better answers from your mind. Okay, so step number four is this is a very important distinction here. A lot of us, we have hundreds and hundreds of references to where we failed in the past and how awful was it, what it could be. So when you're a child, when someone screamed at you, your parents, someone of authority to you, you perceive that it was your fault, that it was your responsibility. That's why they're angry. And how it feels when someone is screaming at you. It feels terrible, right? And those kind of experiences, they're not big traumas, but they are. They stay in the subconscious mind, they're in the body, they're with us all the time. So we carry those experiences, and we have hundreds and hundreds of references as to where we failed, as to where we didn't succeed, as to where people laugh at us. We try to say something and someone laugh at us. And then we're ending up at some point in our life, we think that we have a choice, but all of those beliefs, I call it the soup of consciousness, because it's so many beliefs that shape us and shape our decision. We're actually sometimes not aware that we're scared from failure, that we're scared from those things. So all those references, they shape the decisions that we're making right now, right? So we need to change it because we want to be empowered. We want to create the life that we want. So how do we do it? So what we want to do is the best way to change this kind of beliefs in our life, because again, you're asking yourself automatically those questions, okay? Where did I fail and how awful was it? Now, I want you to write a list in your life of things that, of times in the past that you failed, or you had a terrible experience, or you got rejected, but you overcame it. You went to the other side and you succeeded. But that can be, I mean, it can be even being here right now and watching this presentation, right? Those kind of things are wins, because you overcame so much to be here nowadays. It doesn't mean you didn't fail if you felt bad for like days or whatever. You overcame it. Now you're here and you feel good. So you're a champion. So if you're gonna have all those references in your life as to where you won, as to when things happened, it was a good thing, and as to when you actually dealt with things like champion in your life, okay? It could be, again, ending a relationship, and you thought it will be the end of the world, but now you're here, you're happy, all good. Those kind of references, what they will do, they will strengthen the beliefs that you can deal with life, you can deal with failure, you can deal with situations like this, uncomfortable situations, and all of a sudden you're gonna be like, you're gonna know that you can deal with stuff. So failure wouldn't be a problem anymore, because you know that you can deal with that. You dealt with that in the past, so it's all a matter of you now doing what you need to do. And this is a big distinction of how to change this trigger and move you from being scared from worry to now being a victor and dealing with things and doing them because you know you're a badass. Now, so shift number four is find the references in your life that you're a badass, that you're a champion, that you can deal with the shit, you can deal with failure. Shift number five is don't do this alone. Okay, I want to talk to you about a concept that is very important. So you have your current beliefs right now. Those current beliefs is your mindset. Those current beliefs are who you are, your essence right now. All the beliefs that you created, that you have in your subconscious mind, all of those beliefs. And those beliefs create your current actions. What kind of actions? It can be things that you're doing and things that you're not doing, okay? For example, if you're scared for failure, then you wouldn't do a lot of things. You wouldn't go say hi to the guy or the girl that you want to meet. So those kind of actions. So it's actions that you do and actions that you don't do as well. Both of them, and I'll give you a great example in just a second. So those kind of actions create the current results that you have in your life right now. Okay, the current results is the life that you have right now in your career, in your money, relationships, intimate relationships, and your health. This is the situation, the life that you currently have. Now, those current results, they also reinforce the beliefs that you have, that you already have. How they reinforce them? Well, if you have a belief and all you can see is the life that you see, so those results, they reinforce the belief that you have. What do you need? You need a mentor, because you need something or someone to interfere with this process. You need a new awareness, new mindset that can literally help you get out of this vicious cycle, because it is a vicious cycle. It's very addicted, because we're addicted to the beliefs, we're addicted to the feelings here, to the actions. We're constantly doing them, and they get reaffirmed by the results that we see. So a mentor can help two very important things in this process. One of it is new beliefs also can challenge the old beliefs that you currently have. And those beliefs, the new beliefs, will create new actions in your life. Also, a mentor can point out what to do, what not to do. So this process can be much simpler here. Okay, so it can help you create new beliefs. Those beliefs will create new actions, and those new actions will create new results in your life. Okay, and those new results will reinforce the new beliefs. Okay, now let me give you an example. Let's take the belief, I'm good enough, I'm lovable. Now, this kind of belief will create very specific action. You know what? Let's start with I'm not lovable, I'm not good enough. So those beliefs will create actions like you want to try to please people. You wouldn't say things when you want to say them because you're scared or whatever. So those kind of beliefs will create those kind of actions. Those kind of actions will create the same results. They'll create results that reaffirm I'm not lovable. People don't like me. People reject me. But it's due to your actions that you're taking. Okay, and those results will reinforce the belief I'm not lovable, I'm not good enough. Okay, now if you create new beliefs in your mind, I'm good enough, I'm lovable, then you will have new actions. You're going to make new actions in your life. Yeah, confident actions. You wouldn't say things when you don't want to. You say them when you want to. People are going to feel your confidence. They're going to feel that you're lovable. You know it. You stop pleasing people, and people are going to feel it. And those actions gonna create new results in your life. Okay, lovable kind of results. People are gonna love you. Gonna get attracted to you, and those results will reinforce the new beliefs that you're lovable and that you're good enough. Okay, so this is how the process of belief, action, results, and results beliefs works. Very important to understand. Now, let's sum it up. Let's see what we talked about so far so you can connect the dots and actually apply those things in your life, and you can see how powerful they can be. So here's what you need in order to turn failure into your best friend. Step number one is don't take things personally. Don't take failure personally. You need to make the separation between who you are, who other people are, and the separation of their actions and their behavior. Okay, so those need to be separated, because otherwise you're messing things up and you're creating problems to other people. You also wouldn't be able to forgive them because you're going to see them as bad. But you have to make this separation. It's going to make life much better for you towards yourself. You're gonna be compassionate with yourself, because you know that you're good enough. You're going to have much higher self-esteem, because you understand that you're not a failure because you try something or because you failed the exam. Okay, step number two is welcome failure. So instead of pushing it and trying to avoid it, you see it as a good thing and you embrace it. And then failure, there's no more failure anymore, because you want to go towards that. That leads us to step number three, which is reframe failure. You change the meaning towards failure. You change it to something that is more supportive, something that you can learn from it. So it's a learning experiences that you can actually, it can be a stepping stone to success for you. Okay, rather than see it as a negative thing, this is a great opportunity for you to learn, and that way you can go up and up and up and climb to where you want to be, climb to where you want to be. And it's inevitable to face failure when you go after new things, but it's fine. It's only a feedback for you to learn and be better, be the person that you need to be. And in order to be this person, you have to face failure. You have to face uncomfortable feelings because it's out of your comfort zone. And the person that you want to be um, is a person that probably need to face those things, need to get to the next level, and this is why you're facing those things. So don't run away from it. See it as a good thing. See it as a learning lesson, and also see it as an opportunity for your success and happiness. You're capable dealing with failure. So you absolutely know you have all the references as to where, when in your past you dealt with failure, you dealt like a champion with failure, and that could be that you're here today, that you're seeing it, and you're happy, and who knows what you overcame. Like all of us come with a baggage, all of us come with a crazy story of separations, and God knows what you've been through. I know what I've been through, but I'm here. So that's a great reminder for me that I can deal with stuff. And the more specific you can be here with that, the better you will be, because it will have more references in your mind. You'll be more emotionally attached to understanding that you can deal with shit in your life. You can deal with failure. So then you create trust within yourself. You know that you're capable to deal with failure, and it wouldn't scare you as much as it's now, because what we have right now is all the references as to when we're not good enough, when we felt how terrible it was. So we want to change it. We want to see failure as a good thing, and we want to know that you dealt. We want to look at all the places that you actually dealt with failure like a champion. Step number five, don't do this alone. So you can talk with someone, talk with a mentor that can just hand you the answers, can help you develop new beliefs, new psychology, new mindset that can create new actions in your life and create better results in your life. So, thank you so much for being here. I really, really appreciate your time. Now, I'm working on a few projects nowadays. One of them is regarding worry. So, if you worry and if you have hard time, dealing with failure, this is actually learn to accept failure is only one aspect of worry and anxiety. There's actually many more beliefs underneath the surface that impacting you and causing you to worry. So this is just one aspect. If you want to know more, go to www.becomeworryfree.com/apply. Choose the time that works for you, and we can discuss and see if we can actually, if I can help you apply these ideas in your life, but also talk and see if there's a good fit between us. There's a good connection that might be working together in future projects and things like this. So again, I'm super, super grateful that you're here. I love you. I wish you the best wherever you are. I wish you good night, good evening. I'm actually in Israel right now. So for me, it's, I think, 2 a.m., 2, 3 a.m., quite late. And I had a long day at work. So for me, it's night. But again, I'm very, very grateful that you joined me today. I hope that you got some great information, great value out of that, and that you can be much better accepting failure, and you can make it a good thing, so you can be a better human being and grow and go to where you want to go. So thank you.